Hi guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel Commerce Classes. So in the last video we have seen what is business, what does business stands for, or what is the meaning of business, and the different characteristics therein. Like it's an economic activity undertaken with the objective to earn profits. There should be sale and purchase of goods and that too on regular basis. So this we saw already in the last video. So now we will move further and we will look into the differences between the business, the profession, and the employment. So, what are the various differences among these three? So, first basis for differentiation is the mode of establishment. So, business. So, business is anyone forcing you to do business? No. So, that is where it is mentioned. It is individual decision to start and need to follow certain laws. So, there are certain laws which you have to abide by. Like, if you are starting a business in the form of a company, then you will have to follow the provisions as provided in Companies Act 2013, so on and so forth. In case of profession, if you wanted to start a profession, for example, if you want a profession, start a profession of doctor or an advocate, then you would need to have then you need to obtain the membership of the professional body, be it the bar council or the medical association. Employment. So employment is nothing but a job. So if you want to start a job, you should have a letter of appointment or a offer letter from the concerned employer, and the service agreement, which will be provided by your employer or prospective employer. Second basis is the nature of work. So in business, what you will do, you will provide certain goods or services to your customers or public. In profession, you will provide certain professional services, like the doctor will provide services related to medical inspection or operational services. Chartered accountant will provide services related to financial advisory, etc. And in employment, you will perform the work as per the contractual obligations defined by your employer. The third basis is the qualification. So business, do you need any qualification? No. But for profession, do you need certain sort of qualifications? Yes, because you will have to obtain the membership of professional body, and that can be obtained only after you meet the criteria which has been set by the particular professional body. For employment, it depends on what is your employer requirement. Then rewards or return. So in business, you will have profit because that is what you're doing business for. In profession, you will receive professional fees from your clients. Like doctor would receive fees, the chartered accountant would receive fees, or the advocate would receive fees. And in employment, you will receive a defined salary of wages as per the offer letter or the letter of appointment. Capital investments. So as we discussed earlier, because business has risk, because you are investing a lot of capital. Now that capital depends on the nature and size of business. Profession, capital is required but very limited when compared to business. And in case of employment, zero capital or no capital. Risk, because business is always uncertain, you don't know what may happen, so it has high risk. Profession, because services is something which can be provided even by other means. So services, though risk is there, but it has lower risk. And in case of employment, it has little or no risk unless and until provided, because if you terminate any terms and condition of the employment, then only you could be terminated or something else. There is no risk of losing anything. Transfer of interest, like if you can transfer your business or something to someone else, yes, if you follow certain legal formalities. Profession, not possible, because if I am a chartered accountant, I cannot transfer my knowledge to someone else and he cannot provide services on my behalf. So it is not possible in case of profession. Similarly, it is not possible in case of employment, because my set of skills may differ from the other person and other person may not have the same set of skills, or I cannot transfer my skills to anyone else to do my job on my behalf. Code of conduct. For business, there is no professional code of conduct. Only you will have to follow certain laws and regulation. There is no code of conduct. But in case of profession, you will have to follow the code of conduct which has been set by the concerned professional body. Similarly, in case of employment, you will have to follow the code of conduct which has been mandated by your employer. So an example of business is a shop, any shop, or a trader, or a mall. In case of profession, a chartered accountant or a doctor or a advocate. In case of employment, an employee of a bank or a multinational corporation like maybe Tatas or Birlas. So this is a crux of the difference between the business and the profession and employment on various bases, as you can see here. Then moving on further, We will see the classification of business activities. So business is classified into two types, the industry and commerce. Now the definition we have already seen. So what is business? Again, the same thing is mentioned. It is an economic activity undertaken with the objective to earn profits. So we can classify business into two types. One is industry, another is commerce. So now what does industry stands for? So industry means economic activities which are connected with the conversion of resources into useful goods. Conversion. So they are basically involved into processing. Whereas commerce stands for all activities, or commerce includes all activities which facilitates the movement of goods between the producer and ultimate consumer. It includes trade and auxiliaries to trade. That is, commerce is something which provides a support measure to industry, because ultimately industry is the one which is converting the resources into useful goods, and commerce is the one which is facilitating the movement of those goods from the producer to the consumer. So commerce is a support to industry. So therefore, business could be classified into these two categories, industry and commerce. Now, further classifying the types of industry. So industry are of various types, as you can see, ranging. There are three: primary, secondary, and tertiary. So primary industry. So primary industries are the one which are concerned with extraction and production of natural resources. Like they are extracting some natural resources and they are converting it into some useful goods, maybe a raw material or a finished product. Secondary converts the output of primary industry into a final product. Secondary industries are the one which are convert using the output of primary as input and creating some useful finished product out of the same. Then tertiary, it's like a service, then again a support type of service, support to the primary and secondary. So provide services to primary and secondary. For example, the goods may be produced by the primary secondary, but then for their movement, you may need transportation services. For the insurance of goods, you may need insurance services. So all these services comes into tertiary sector or the tertiary industry. Then we could further subclassify these types of industries again. So primary can be subclassified into extractive and genetic. So extractive industries are like farming and mining. Genetic, example, poultry farms, genetic industries. Secondary could be further classified into manufacturing and construction. So manufacturing is like they are using some processing technologies or assembling technologies. For example, processing industry or food industry. Assembling industry, like say car manufacturing, car assembling. Construction, as the name suggests, like construction of a building or a dam. So they will come under secondary industry. And what they will do? Why they are called secondary industries? Because, for example, construction industry, when they will do construction, they would use cement, they would use concrete, and all these is produced by primary industry. So that is what they are doing. That is what their meaning is. So secondary industry means which is using the output of primary one as their input. Then moving on further, so this is about the types of industries. So there are business can be classified into two types: industry and commerce. Industry means which are converting resources into useful goods, and commerce which is providing a support system to industry. Then we could classify industry into three types: primary, secondary, and tertiary. Primary are the ones which are engaged in the production of extraction and production of natural resources. Secondaries are the one which convert the input of primary industry into finished product, and tertiary again provides a service or support services to primary and secondary, for example, insurance and banking and transportation services. Moving on to classification of commerce. So commerce include again two types: trade and auxiliaries to trade. So trade means what? Nothing but the exchange of goods and services. So trade could be internal as well as an external trade. Internal means within the geographical boundaries. External means outside the geographical boundaries of the country. So internal trade, like within the stand, if we take an example of geographical boundary of India, so internal trade means the trade which is happening within India. So it could be an wholesale trade or a retail trade. Wholesale means a bulk trade. Retail means the sale to end consumer or small trade, small value sales. External means outside the geographical boundaries of India. Like trade is happening between two nations, not just India, but rather let's say between India and let's say USA. So it could be an import. Import means we are buying from USA. Export, we are selling to USA or we are sending to USA. An entry port, Entry port is something like it will not come into India, but it will just come into port and it will then go. For example, the goods is going to, let's say, Japan, and let's say India is lying between somewhere US and Japan. So the goods will come to India on the port, like it will be unloaded from one ship which has come from USA to India. Then they will lie on the port for some time, and then from Indian port they will again be transported into another ship which will take them to Japan. So actually goods are not consumed into India, but rather it has just come into India for transportation purposes. So that is called as entry port. Auxiliaries to trade. Auxiliaries to trade are these other services like itself, like transportation, warehousing, insurance, banking, finance. So which facilitates the trade actually. So auxiliaries to trade means that services which facilitates this trade. Like for trading, we might need transportation service. Like for export and import, we might need transportation service of ships. So that will be covered under auxiliaries to trade. Then, okay, so objectives of business we would see in next video. So in this video, we'll see till here. Thank you for staying connected. Please do like and share the content. And for further videos, you may please subscribe our channel, Commerce Classes. Thank you.